Welcome to The Shift, the podcast that empowers you to make a change in your life and chase your dreams with passion and purpose. If you are tired of feeling stuck in a life that doesn't fulfill you, if you have big dreams and ambitions but struggle to turn them into reality, if you want to break free from self-doubt and limited beliefs, join us every week to listen to inspiring stories from regular people just like you, actionable insights, and the motivation you need to make the shift towards your own dreams. And please don't forget to share, subscribe, and leave us a review to help spread the message and inspire others.
Hey guys, welcome back to our next show. Today I have Randall Broyels with me. Nice dude, great guy, very humble, very open. But hey, I'm not going to go into too many details. I'd like Randall to introduce himself. Randall, welcome to the show.
Awesome, Eugene. Hey, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us who you are and what you do, and maybe what was your life look like before you became who you became.
I'm Randall, aka Randy. Everybody calls me Randy. So before investing, I was a career soldier. I was a aviation mechanic for the United States Army. I recently retired April. Oh, actually, it's been a year.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a year since I've last put on my uniform, right? And then I was on leave. So, but outside of that, I was a career soldier. I started investing in 2011 with a single wide mobile home. And then I bought some single family homes for long-term rentals, but I wanted more, right? And I was tired of, hey, what the next door neighbor's house sold for, my house is going to sell for, right? And I wanted something where I put in a little bit of sweat equity and I managed it and I ran it properly. I knew the value would be there. So I got into self-storage. And now I closed my first deal in August and here it is April and I'm getting ready to close on my third deal.
Congratulations, man.
So
how did you get into self-storage?
So how I got into self-storage, well, first and foremost, I've been around self-storage roughly since 2007 because my wife's dad owns a self-storage facility. He's getting ready to expand. He'll be right at around 300 units. And watching him come and go as he pleases, right, is something that I've always wanted to do. He can call somebody and be like, hey, I got $50. I'm going to the beach this weekend. I'll just come by and collect the rent checks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But originally when I retired, I was going to get into multifamily and I was going to be a syndicator and I was going to raise capital and do all that stuff. But there's so many operators in the multifamily world and the cost to get into multifamily outside of your knowledge base is pretty high, right? But then I ran across a self-storage facility driving for dollars and I paid $125,000 for it. That's how I got started.
Wow. Driving for dollars. Well,
Yes, sir.
I think not all of my listeners probably know what that means. You want to expand on that?
Yeah. So driving for dollars is you get in your car and you drive around areas that you're looking to buy. If you're looking for self-storage, you drive and you look for self-storage. You pull in, you call a number, you go to the office, find out if the person that is sitting there is the owner or the manager. If they are the manager, can they get in contact with the owner? Is it owned by a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust? Hopefully 90% of the time when you're doing self-storage, you're talking to the owner when you call. So luckily I ran across, called the owner, and they were in a tight bind and they ended up selling it.
That's awesome. No, that's fantastic, man. Well, congratulations on your first two deals and soon to be the third one. I think it's very exciting. Tell me about the time when you realized that you wanted to make a shift, right? From your career, maybe from being a soldier, right?
Mm-hmm.
A shift. And what was going through your mind at that time? And why did you sort of decided to go the route that you went to?
Well, so being a career soldier, right? I did 20 years, 9 days in the Army, right? And I've always been told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, what to wear, how to wear it. I told myself that I never want to work for anyone else again. Like, I don't want to be told when to come. I don't want to have to ask permission to go to my daughter's dance recital. I don't want to have to ask permission to go get in my car and go see my grandkids. I don't want to have to ask permission to go to the doctor. I just want to be able to do it. And so that's when I realized that real estate investing was the route. Being an entrepreneur was the route. Owning your own business was the route. Yeah, you'd have to put in a little bit more work. Yeah, you have to deal with the day-to-day operations. Yeah, you have to deal with the bank and the customers and anything else that comes down the pipeline because you are the boss, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you can also come and go as you please. If you want to go to your child's dance recital, you can. If you want to go to your son's basketball game, you can. If you want to take a 4-day weekend, you can, right? Because it's your
Mhm.
business. It's your opportunity. And that's
Totally.
when I decided that real estate investing was for me.
That's cool. A lot of people, when they do decide where to shift their mind to, right, and what to do next, they come into challenges where they have to face their limited beliefs. I'm curious, what was one of the limited beliefs that you had to conquer?
Needing money, right? That was one of my fears, right? Is, okay, how do I fund the deals, right? How do I find money, right? And that is still to this day one of my concerns, right? As I'm starting to scale and get into larger deals, where's the money coming from, right? But I'm on Facebook, I'm on social media, I'm doing the networking events on Wednesday, so I'm meeting people, right? And there's a lot of money out there, but nobody's going to give you $50,000 or $100,000 without trust, right? You have to build the trust, and by building the trust, people feel like they know you when you're on social media, right? So quit being a secret agent, okay, is what I will say. And then when that time comes for you to raise the capital for the larger deal, it's there, right? They're hiding back in the corners, right? Hey, we're ready, but we're not ready, right? But then when the deals come and you say, hey, I've got a self-storage facility, it's 1.7 million, the raise is $500,000, and the next thing, you're funded in 24 to 48 hours because people see you, they trust you, they know you, they see your resume, they see you doing deals, right? Got to overcome your drama, right? And just take that leap of faith and it will come.
That's great. No, I think it's a great advice. And just to summarize, guys, what Randall was just talking about, trust. And how you build trust, you connect with people, right? You connect with people, you create relationships. You don't ask for money until the time comes. But first, what you have to do, you need to build trust and create relationships. That's great stuff, Randall. A lot of people, they do want to take their first step towards building the life they always wanted, right? Building the life on their own terms. A lot of people don't take the first step. How would you suggest people do that? Where would they start?
Yeah. So first place, right, is education, right? You have to educate yourself on your asset class, whether it be self-storage, should be multifamily, be triple net lease, single family, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes. You want a car wash, a laundromat, right? No matter what your business is, you have to educate yourself on the operations inside and out of that niche, right? So education is the number one step, right? And then after you educate yourself and you still are not 100% confident in your abilities to take down a deal, there are opportunities that arise. You can be a limited partner in a multifamily deal. There's Samir, there's a buddy of ours that you've met through social media networking who's actually an active limited partner in a deal. Why? Because he said, I want to learn this space. I will fund my education. I will give you money, but I want to be an active limited partner in the deal. So I want to educate myself. I want to learn. I want to see how you're doing it. And they would say, yeah, sure, come on in. There's plenty of room for you to come on as an active LP, right? And so he did. So
that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. I think, again, to summarize what Randall was saying, just education, right? Educating yourself before you start doing something. I think it goes a long way. Do you have any tips, or at least one tip for our listeners that they can actually take home right now and apply it?
Right. If I was to give one tip that all the listeners could take, it would say, start today. Right.
Awesome.
And what I mean by that is the longer you wait, the more deals that you pass up. Right. Start today. Right. Go out and find a book. Right. If you're interested in the burst strategy, right, go find a book on audio and read the burst strategy. Start today. Do something today that will impact tomorrow and the next day and could eventually impact the rest of your life. Right. So start today.
Great advice, man. I think it's awesome. And I know it could be really difficult for some people to just, it's easier said than done, right? Like start today. But you guys, you have to overcome your fears. You have to overcome your limited beliefs. You have to overcome things that you think prevent you from starting today. And it could be anything, like Randall was just saying. It could be education, right? Start with education. Start with creating relationships. Start with creating trust. Start today. That's awesome, Randall. Thank you for that. Tell us, what are you currently working on? And what is the biggest challenge that you're facing?
So what I'm working on right now is we're working on a deal in Greenwood, South Carolina. It's a 40-unit self-storage. So it's my first time doing creative financing. So this is a seller financing deal. He's financing it for 15% down, no payments for 6 months, interest only for 6 months, and then 5-year balloon at a 20-year amortization at 5%. So the biggest, good. Yeah, that is good, right? Which means I don't have any banks involved for at least 5 years. Excuse me. I don't have any banks involved for at least 5 years, right? But the biggest hurdle that I'm doing is the contract, right? The seller sent me the contract. He was like, hey, read this over. And he's like, oh, right, you need to ask permission to expand on the property. And I'm like, dude, you're just, at the end of the day, you're just the bank. Like, I don't go to the bank and say, hey, I want to expand on my property. You don't go to the mortgage company and say, hey, I want to expand on my house. So no, I'm not going to do that, right? Now, the way I rephrase that is, as long as I am creating value to the property as it is currently being used, which is self-storage, I don't have to ask for permission, right? So if I want to build another storage unit on there, I'm free and clear to do that, right? But if I wanted to, say, change it and put a warehouse or industrial on there, now I have to ask permission. But my goal is just to keep it as self-storage, right? So whatever makes my life easier. So that's my biggest hurdle and obstacle. That one's already funded. I have a partner bringing all the capital and the operating expense. Again, right? He gets 65% of the deal, right? Because he's bringing all the risk. Mm-hmm. But I'm the operator and I'm operating it. So I get the other 35.
Right. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Are you guys JVing?
Yep. We're joint venturing. So he is my partner. He will be on the LLC, right? As well. Mm-hmm. He gets 65% of the tax write-off. He gets 65% of depreciation. He gets 65% of the income, right? So good times.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you guys should be okay. I know you're a creative guy, and you guys
Absolutely.
you guys can finish this up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But what's next for you, man? What is your next big goal, and how are you planning to achieve that?
So my next big goal is I want to get under contract a $1 million deal.
Right,
Right.
$1 million deal.
Yeah, 1 million. So right, my first deal was 125. The second deal was 85. This deal is 375. But I actually want to scale, right? I want to take it down $1 million deal and then go to 3, 4, right? So that's my next goal is $1 million deal.
Okay. $1 million deal, do you mean a purchase price or a down payment
$1 million
of
purchase
$1 million?
Yep,
Okay.
$1 million purchase.
Got it.
And so that would be roughly, depending on the repairs and the business plan, at minimum 25% down, it would be a $250,000 raise. But if we want to expand the property and stuff like that, probably looking for $500,000 raise.
That's awesome. And guys, if you hear this and you do want to invest in real estate or start investing, I think that's a great opportunity for you to do so. So if Randall, for example, finds a deal and you do want to invest in his deal, feel free to reach out to Randall, myself. We can make it happen.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Another question that I think the last question that I have for you in this sort of spectrum of questions is a lot of people sometimes don't know where to go, right? Right now there's a lot of social media channels, a lot of books, a lot of audio books.
Mm-hmm.
What type of resources would you recommend or direct people to, like specific ones, if they want to start educating themselves, maybe about real estate, since we are talking about real estate?
Yeah, so we'll talk about real estate. My first book I read was The Burr Strategy, which is pretty great. It tells you how to buy, you rehab it, you rent it, you refinance, you repeat it. So that's kind of how I got started. I bought a couple single family homes and then I fixed them up and then I refinanced out, rinsed and repeated. So that's a great book. But as far as self-storage, man, AJ Osborne's Generating Wealth with Self-Storage is an amazing book. It kind of tells his story from start to finish, how he had some wins, how he had some losses, but he turned those losses into wins and he created a wealth and lifestyle from self-storage that he shares with others. So that is a great book. I still go back to that book every now and then and kind of listen in for certain things on a facility where, hey, where did I fail at? Right. Oh, I didn't do that. Well, let me do that on my next facility. Right. Because we all want to learn. Right. But we're all scared of failing. Right. But let's look at two things. Right. Let's look at learning how to walk. How many times did you fall on your face, or how many times did you fall on your butt, but you got right back up and you learned how to walk, right? Why? Because as a kid, you're resilient, right? You just bounce right back up. Now let's look at another thing. How about learning how to ride a bike? Same thing, right? You started off with some training wheels, right? Which is the limited partner position, the education, and eventually you took off one training wheel or maybe both training wheels at the same time. And you had your mom or dad or your grandparents holding the seat and teaching you how to ride the bike. Well, that's the same thing. You have operators in the space that will teach you how to ride a bike, right? So get out there and start today. So those are the two books.
What a great analogy. Those books are awesome. I think I did read only one. I did read one of them, BRR Strategy.
Yeah.
But I did not read AJ Osborne.
Oh, man, you need to read it. At least listen to it.
Hey, I'm going to start today.
Yeah, it's on audio. It's a great book, man.
No, seriously, I'm going to download it.
There you go.
That's awesome. All right. Now we have a fun round, okay? Fun round is, I want our
Hold on,
listeners...
I can go get a beer. No, just kidding.
All right. No, seriously, go get a beer. It's a free zone.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I have my coffee.
It is 12 p.m. your time, like 12:35. I'm getting ready to start firing up the grill and cooking dinner.
That's cool. Well, too bad you're living too far away. Otherwise, I would come over.
Come on, man. You're always welcome.
Will do. I'm planning to be in your area, maybe in the summer.
Let's go. Make sure you give me a call.
Will do.
Hopefully in the summer I'll be expanding so you can come look at the construction site and stuff.
For sure. I think it's going to be awesome. But hey, let's go to fun round, okay? So I want our listeners to know who Mr. Randall is. And I have like 5-6 questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super fun, but people will judge. And probably, hey guys, if you think you have better questions that I need to be asking, feel free to comment under this video or on my podcast. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go back for a second to elementary or middle school years. What was the younger version of Randall look like at that time?
So the younger version of Randall looked like Ringo off of the Beatles. I had the bowl haircut, right? Cut off shorts, very low income. But as far as attitude, right, I was out of control. I did what I want when I wanted, how I wanted. I was a boy. But yeah, I was out of control, man. Like, I didn't know. As I transitioned, I thought being part of the in crowd was cool. Turned out a lot of those in crowd at the time are in prison, are still living in the same neighborhood, doing the same thing that they did back then, especially in middle school. Mm-hmm. So it took me getting away and moving away to realize that was not the hip thing to do. Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
So one thing I would say is out of control. OCC.
That's funny that you mentioned it. I think I had a T-shirt with that slogan somewhere.
Yep.
I should probably give you that T-shirt as a present if I find it.
There you go.
What is your go-to Halloween costume?
My go-to Halloween costume, I'm a soldier. I put on all the fatigues, combat boots, my maroon beret. Man, I'm dressed. I'm a soldier. Let's go. Ready to go.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
If you were to describe yourself. Sorry, go ahead.
No. When it comes to Halloween, it depends. So I have a daughter, and I try to get her to dress up. One year, she was the prisoner, and I was the cop. I had on the aviators and the drawn-on mustache and the gun and suit. She walked around in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. Right. So, but normally it's based off of whatever. So that kind of like hanging out with my kids and doing whatever they want.
Love it. Absolutely love it. If you were to describe yourself with only one word, what would it be?
Energetic. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome.
I'm all over the place. And I'm passionate about what I do. And when we start talking self-storage and investing, I come up on Mountain Dew.
Nice. And I can vouch for that. Last time Randall and I was on a call, and Randall, I would say also a mentor of mine. He's I would say a few steps ahead of me in the self-storage industry. He knows what's up, and I come to him for advice. And last time when we had a call, he was very pumped about talking about self-storage, and we actually went over our phone call maybe like 30 minutes or so.
Oops. That's all right. But what?
Yeah.
It's our
Well, it's fun.
We're bosses.
It was fun, man. I love it.
Yes, it was. Anytime you get together and you can watch somebody grow in an asset class, it's a great opportunity, right? When you're teaching someone the trade, it's great, right? Because you're teaching them your failures as well. Like, hey, don't do this. Hey, look at that, right? I did this and it didn't work, right? So anytime you get that opportunity, it's great.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. Was there any question that you always wanted to be asked by someone who interviewed you in the past but never did?
Man, that's hard to say. At the end of the day, right, if someone interviewed me and there was questions that I wanted to be asked that didn't ask, I would have to say, right, is how did you overcome your childhood, right? Because a lot of us that are in this space don't come from wealthy individuals. We come from poor backgrounds. Like I said, I grew up on a trailer, had my water turned off, had my electric turned off. I started working with my dad at age 12 so I can get the name brand clothes and the name brand shoes. And to look back and see people that you grew up with still in the same town, doing the same thing, right? That question is, how did you overcome, right, your childhood? How did you separate yourself to provide a greater, more profitable lifestyle for yourself than your peers or your childhood friends? That's one question I would say.
That's great, man. Yeah, I mean, I think kudos to you that you took the step forward and you escaped that life and started building the life that you always wanted to. So I think it's great. I think it's great. So let's say in 100 years, science fails to save us, and all that is left is a book about your life. What would the title be, and what would the blurb tell us about Randall Broyels?
The book, I would say, and I've always said this, is The Lifestyles of the Rich and the Shameless. Right? A, 'cause I'm not rich, and B, I'm not shameless.
Nice.
Yeah.
So. Let's go with the last one. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
Oh, man. If I can have a billboard with anything on it, I would have to say it would be a picture of me and my family. My wife, my kids, my grandkids, because they are the reason I do what I do. They're the reason that I wake up every morning, my feet hit the floor. I'm driven, I'm dedicated to be successful, not only for me, but for them. I want to provide for them the lifestyle that I didn't have growing up.
That's great. Man, that is awesome. I sincerely wish you luck. And I know you and I will be connecting probably very soon to talk more about self-storages. But
Absolutely.
For now, how can people connect with you? Where they can find you?
Yeah, so they can find me on Facebook, Randall Broyels, Military First Investment Group. They can find me on LinkedIn, Randall Broyels. I'm on Snapchat. Right.
Snapchat.
Yeah. It's my kid.
Wow.
And even on I got a TikTok,
awesome.
but I don't do much posting on my TikTok as I should. But I am on Instagram as well. I'm on most of the social media. I'm just not on what's the one with the bird? What's the other one?
Twitter.
Yeah. I'm not on Twitter. Elon Musk is getting ready to buy it. Hey, I do have a question for you, Eugene. What's on your hat?
Oh, that's a fox meditating.
Okay.
It's like being in a Zen position.
You're in your Zen? Okay. Do you wear that on every podcast?
I think I started wearing this in every podcast, but I may be changing that very soon once I put my logo on it.
There you go.
With the name of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. But that's how they can find me. They can reach out.
For people who haven't heard this, they're going to listen later. I'm going to put everything what Randall said in our show notes so you guys can follow those links and find Randall. Talk to him. Like I said, great guy. He doesn't hold anything back. He loves to teach. And if you have money, if you're ready to invest, if you want to produce some passive income for you and for your family, I think this is self-storage is a great asset. feel free to reach out to Randall. Feel free to reach out to me, and I connect you with Randall. It's just absolutely a great asset to build wealth.
Absolutely.
Randall, thank you so much. I really enjoyed having you on the show. It was a pleasure having you. I know you and I will be connecting very soon to talk shop. So I'll be seeing you very shortly, brother.
Hey, Eugene, again, thanks for having me on the show. It was an honor to share my story, and the fun questions definitely hit home a little bit. So have a nose for everybody listening. If you are interested in investing in self-storage, or want to know more about self-storage, reach out to Eugene. He'll help you out. He's probably got some deals too. You can reach out to me. And if you just want to know about self-storage, link up with Eugene. He's got a Zoom link that we do every Wednesday, 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. And we just educate. You bring your deals and bring your questions, and we answer those questions.
That's great. Now, like I said, Randall doesn't hold anything back, loves to educate. So I'll drop probably the Zoom link, if you don't mind, in our show notes. Or if you want to keep it private, we can keep it private. If people reach out, I can share.
No, drop it in the show note, man. That's good.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. All right. Randall, thank you so much. And you have a fantastic day. And we'll talk soon.
Hey, you too, Eugene. Have a good one.
Bye. See ya.
We hope that today's episode has inspired you to take action towards building the life you've always wanted. Don't forget to leave us a review, share, and subscribe to our podcast for more empowering stories, actionable insights, and motivation to help you make the shift towards your own dreams. Thanks again for listening to The Shift.